Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It is 7:30 straight up on this April 19th, 2024. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett, streaming live on News 6 Plus for your smart TV, smart app, and clickorlando.com. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison. Hope you had a great night and a good start to the morning so far. We have another hot day on tap for us, and the temperatures are still really getting up there. Meteorologist Candace Campos is in the Pinpoint Weather Center with more on these temperatures. I have another field day today. And so...
How was the first field day yesterday?
Oh, she loved it. And one of her favorite things was one of my favorite things, which is the parachute. And she said it was in a shaded area, so it was perfect.
See, smart girl. Smart girl.
I know. So today's Ethan's field day. Yeah. So...
Oh my Can't wait to hear those stories.
I know. But it is a hot one. It is a hot one. But they had, plenty of water, the popsicles, all that stuff, and left the sunscreen out overnight for the nanny. So, hey.
Let's do it. Yeah, lather up the sunscreen. And you're going to want to lather.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Candace? Okay, we will get her back. We'll get her back. Okay. Okay, so we have a couple of things going on. We'll get back to Candace with weather in just a second, and we'll have Trooper Steve with a traffic update in just a second. We also have a doctor online today to talk about skin cancer prevention and treatments from advanced dermatology and cosmetic surgery. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, we want to get you updated on some things that are happening. Mark Lehman is out at Orlando International Airport this morning. There was a near miss involving a jet that was headed to Orlando, almost collided with another airliner. They stopped just about 300-400 feet from each other. They both had the green light, and it was, of course, a mistake with air traffic control. So Mark has more on what happened, and thankfully everyone is safe. Here's Mark.
Two jetliners were on an apparent collision course Thursday at Washington's Reagan National Airport.
We stopped. We were cleared to cross runway 4.
A Southwest flight bound for Orlando and a JetBlue flight bound for Boston were cleared on the same runway. The collision was narrowly avoided when air traffic controllers frantically radioed each plane to stop.
After November by number air, ground point JetBlue 62 26. And we stopped JetBlue 1654.
The two planes stopped about 400 feet apart. The incident highlighting what's been a concerning issue in aviation. There were 23 close calls at airports in the 2023 fiscal year, up from 16 the year before.
Perfect. Thank you.
These incidents must serve as a wake-up call before something more catastrophic occurs.
In November, the head of the NTSB pressed Congress for money to upgrade technology and hire more staff. The FAA holding more than 100 safety meetings last year at airports nationwide and are now looking into another near miss.
All right, so that is the latest update on that. Of course, like Mark mentioned, a dire need for more air traffic control. There's a shortage there, and this is a reminder of how serious that is. So we'll keep you updated as they continue with that. And I think we have Candace. Do we have Candace back? No, we don't. We still don't have Candace back, but we will get her back. We have Trooper Steve. Trooper Steve is standing by in Results 1. Happy Friday, Steve. You were on the anchor desk with me this morning.
Friday.
Yes. So was it a fun morning, except for you having to talk about the Taylor Swift album being the new album out overnight?
We gotta do it. We gotta do it, right? Listen, I always love to give you some props because you are such a pleasure to anchor the desk with.
Oh,
and
thank you.
You always treat me like I'm supposed to be there, so I appreciate
Thank you.
But yes, our producer slid in the little Taylor Swift stuff on me. You guys already know. Look, I'm not a Swiftie. I don't get it, but
I'm gonna find a song that you can jam to. I'm not gonna give up.
I will wish you luck on that adventure.
Okay.
But hey, to each their own. I listen to music that I'm sure some people don't like. It's just fun for me to have a little play with. So that's why it's. But
it was big news. I mean, she released it overnight. People were lining up to get it, and then the surprise was that it was a double album. So I mean, that's fun. That's fun in and of itself when an artist surprises you like that. So what if Michael Bublé does that? Maybe he'll put out a double album by surprise for you.
Maybe. One day. You're not going to get much out of me with this.
All right. Well, what do you have going on today, and how's traffic looking?
Traffic is well, I know they're about to change the DOT cam to an incident that is taking place somewhere. I'm not exactly sure just yet where it is. It's along 417 around the 26. I don't have it on camera just yet, but I-4 in Maitland, not bad. I-4 in Lake Mary, we are slow here westbound. So just be careful out in this area, please. But again, around the 26 at 417, EP executive producer John Ambrone just sent me a text while we're sitting here chatting, and I can't really check it while I'm on Breakfast with Bridgett. So we'll do that during the next cut-in if you want to tune in. Just be careful there, OBT in Maitland. Currently, eastbound I-4 at Champions Gate. The slowdowns are here. It's the attractions area. It happens every day. It's a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. A lot of people headed inbound this morning. So just be careful outside of that. Hunters Creek, you guys are behaving this morning. City of Kissimmee, not bad, but unincorporated portions like Point Siena, always slow northbound here along Pleasant Hill. So please be careful as you're cruising through there. To all the News 6 folks that are currently working, I'm on Breakfast with Bridgett, and you guys are going to mess up my signal here if you keep calling or texting me, so please stop. Boggy Creek over by Simpson, please be careful as the school zone and the Narcoossee area, but your drive times, Bridgett, not bad on I-4, a little high coming in from Kissimmee. We'll bounce out of traffic real quick. I am going to be doing Trooper Steve on patrol today, talking about a term called claiming an intersection. Now, anyone could say they claim it, but here in the state of Florida, we do not allow that. And I'm going to break exactly what that means down today at 8:30 over at clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus and the News 6 app, doing a little demonstration here in the vehicle, and we'll talk about it. Outside of that, I've got a pretty smooth Friday, Bridgett, and
now you teased me with bagels
that.
with Bridgett. Is that still on the table? Can I
That's
cash app
that's
you?
very much on.
Can I Apple Cash you?
That's very much on the table.
Okay.
I'll hit that up during my stream, and I'll make sure I swing back by the office.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Trooper Steve. So,
Bye, guys.
Bye. We love our pets. We talked about Pause for Peace. That's coming up soon with Harbor House. And Treasure Roberts did a story the other day that covered basically an uptick in French Bulldog rescues that are happening. The shelter's overcrowding in a certain area with Frenchies. So we have that story now with Treasure. Just, consider how you might be able to help out.
Space Coast Frenchie Rescue needs your help.
I'm averaging 1 surrender a day.
Since last November, more than 150 dogs have been surrendered to the organization.
So you all took in a lot of dogs, but it's my understanding that they didn't all come from Brevard County.
Miami is probably one of the saddest situations I've ever seen.
Yeah, and the West Coast.
The organization founder, Ashley Peterson, says shelters across the state are full. They've even reached out asking her to take some of their dogs. Frenchies are popular, which poses the problem of overbreeding. Staff at the O'Galley Veterinary Hospital in Melbourne and Peterson's co-founder, Courtney Schilling, opened their homes to help.
How many dogs do you have right now?
I have 7 currently, yeah.
At one point, I think she had 15.
Taking in 15 dogs, it almost seems unheard of. Did you ever see yourself having that many dogs?
I never saw myself cleaning my house that much.
But this is just a temporary solution.
The goal is to get everyone adopted.
Until then, they are in need of donations and fosters.
This is the treatment area.
An abundance of Frenchies isn't the only issue of overbreeding.
These are all surrenders as part of the shelter. Most of them have medical issues.
Associate veterinarian Jocelyn Brickett says for some, breeding Frenchies is a get-rich-quick scheme. But when done improperly, it can lead to genetic issues.
Color is a result of trying to breed the Merle color. So they bred 2 Merle dogs together, which leads to this kind of white syndrome. So he's blind and deaf due to them breeding those 2 colors together. We really need people to kind of stop doing that and leave it to the professionals.
This is Gambit. Gambit has a medical condition, and a lot of people would be hesitant to adopt a dog in a wheelchair. But we spoke to Gambit's foster mom, who says his condition doesn't make him any less loving and loyal.
he's just hard not to love.
Jessica Bonnell has fostered Gambit for 3 months. She encourages others to step up to the plate and give these dogs the life they deserve.
We all, as humans, want everybody to be perfect, but none of us are. Yeah. So neither is poor Gambit, but he is perfect and is unique in his own way.
In Brevard County, Treasurer Roberts, Getting Results, News 6.
Those sweet Frenchies. I hope that a lot of people will be able to step up and help them out there. But a great story, even though it's a sad situation from Treasure there. So we want to check right back in with Candace to get you ready for the day and the weekend. We had a little bit of confusion with our channels, but I think we got you now, Candace. So how are we looking for today? We've had heat all week, so
Yes. I have been doing so much to try to get on here. So
thank you.
I'm just about to go on TV, so let's take it quick. Links one right now. You can see temperatures out the door right now are in the mid 60s across Central Florida. We are going to continue to warm up pretty fast. The big story, no matter what, is going to be the heat. Temperatures upper 80s, low 90s area wide. But it's going to continue to heat up as we head into your weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday temperatures are going to be in the low 90s, which means that some spots could be very close to record breaking. And as I get results here, the full 7-day forecast, it looks like we'll finally get a little break from all that heat and dry stretch that we've been dealing with for the past several days. Come Earth Day on Monday, you can see rain chances do go up to about a 50%, all thanks to a cold front. But then highs will go from low 90s to low 80s Monday. It won't last long, though. We'll be back into the upper 80s before you know it later on next week, Bridgett.
All right. Sounds good, Candace. Thank you so much. We'll see you on TV.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Okay. So like we mentioned, skin cancer prevention and treatment. We have Dr. Charles Dunn online this morning from Advanced Dermatology and Cosmetic Surgery. Thanks for being with us. I appreciate you troubleshooting with us. We got you on now. Good morning.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm really curious, about what you have to tell us about the latest in just trying to prevent skin cancer and treat skin cancer, because it is so common.
It is. Yes. So, summer is here. It's approaching. We just got an amazing update about all the sunny days that are, coming in, for the forecast. And so I think that skin cancer prevention is something that it's important to talk about right now. And I think that that's something that we're really trying to emphasize. Skin cancer is common. 1 in 5 Americans are diagnosed with skin cancer during their lifetimes. And that's I think a really harrowing statistic, but there's hope. And I think the important thing to know about that is that early detection is really important in detecting skin cancer. So, for instance, Melanoma Monday is coming up on May 6th. Melanoma, which is one of the most deadly skin cancers, there is a vast difference between the prognosis for melanoma if it's diagnosed in early stages or caught early. The survival rates are more than 99% versus if it's caught late or whenever it's spread, where the survival statistics drop down into the 30s. So I think that's why I strongly encourage everyone to be aware of their skin, to take care and prioritize their skin. And I think, talking about skin checks is a really important thing to talk about at this point.
And what do you recommend for patients when it comes to skin checks?
Yeah, my personal recommendation is that everyone should get a skin check. I think routine skin checks are really important. The truth is that if you have skin, you can get skin cancer. Skin cancer doesn't care what your age is, what your size is, what your ethnicity is or skin color is, or what your bank account is. People of all shapes and sizes and ethnicities get skin cancer. So I think that it's important to really get skin checks with your local dermatologist. 50% of skin cancers are never detected by patients. It's not something that they say, this spot itches, or I noticed this spot changing. They're never detected, which is the important reason why skin checks are really important. Mm-hmm. So I recommend that everyone really get to know their skin at the very beginning. I think that self-skin checks are really important. One thing that I like to really emphasize is that even if you have a darker skin tone, you can still get skin cancer. I hear that all the time, this myth that, because I tan and never burn, or because I have really dark skin that I
Mm-hmm.
can't develop, melanoma or skin cancer. But that's not true. Even though the skin cancer rates are low, it's actually skin cancer in people with darker skin tones. It tends to be found later at more advanced stages. So 4 times more common to be found in advanced stages. So I think whoever you are, it's important to get skin checks on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's a lot more thorough than what you can do yourself when you come in to see a professional. So what if someone hasn't gone ahead and done this? Because we know we have the opportunity to come get checked, but a lot of people don't take the time out to make sure they're doing this regularly. So if you haven't gotten around to this, what can a person expect? Because it is, if you're a little shy, this is a pretty, you're checking everything.
That's right. That's right, Bridget.
What can
That's
they
absolutely
expect?
true. And I think yeah, knowing what to expect with a skin check. So a skin check is really just a meticulous head to toe check by a dermatologist, where we look at the palms of your hands, the soles of your feet. We really go from head to toe. We look through the scalp. We look along the back. Many dermatologists like myself, we use a really interesting tool that's really kind of a glorified magnifying device, that a magnifying glass that has polarized light. And we hone in on moles or spots, everywhere from head to toe to see, if there's signs or symptoms concerning for skin cancer. So it's detailed, but it's very brief. It's 15 minutes. And I think it's really important to say that this is not just, a routine appointment. This is something, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that skin cancer checks in a dermatologist's office save lives. This is a proactive measure that you can do for your skin to safeguard your skin, to safeguard your health and your well-being. So I don't think nearly enough people prioritize their
Yeah.
skin or prioritize their skin health and take the necessary steps. And skin checks are really important. In advanced dermatology, we actually are having free skin checks at offices across the state on May 6th, on Melanoma Monday.
That's awesome.
So that's an opportunity for you guys for anyone to come in and get their skin checked.
That's awesome, because there are sneaky spots where, some troubling spots show up and you might miss them. So it's important to
Right.
get those checks. So do you recommend at least once a year, or maybe more if you have a
Yes, ma'am.
history?
Exactly. So there are certain risk factors. Knowing your risk, I think, is really important. So if you have a family history of melanoma, if you have a history of extensive sun exposure, if you have a personal history of skin cancer, or if you have light skin or fair skin, those are definitely risk factors for developing skin cancers, and those people should be very aware of their skin cancer risk and be seen probably more often, but I think at least once a year is a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So know your risk factors, and then know your body. I think it's important. So that 50% statistic, 50% of skin cancers are never detected by patients. That means 50% of skin cancers are detected by patients. So knowing your skin, paying attention to your, new or changing moles on your body, or new or changing spots. If you have anything that on your skin that seems out of place or that's concerning to you, find a dermatologist and get a skin check, because that's important.
And so skin cancer can be deadly, unfortunately. And what are some of the more promising things that are happening with treatment? I know recently in the news there have been some breakthrough treatments, and just giving people more hope if, you do end up with a cancerous skin cancer case, that, you're going to be okay.
Absolutely. So I'm so glad you asked that, Bridget, because I think for the longest time, melanoma, when you received a diagnosis of melanoma, almost regardless of stage, it was a death sentence. And I think that right now there's so many new promising therapies. One newish one that has really seen explosive growth. It was invented or generated by the Nobel prize-winning allergist, Dr. Allison, is immunotherapy, where it's not chemotherapy. Immunotherapy is a type of therapy that turns your body's own immune system on to detect cancer and to fight cancer. And so we're seeing really profound prognostic improvement. So, survival rates that are kind of really on the up and up because of immunotherapies, because of vaccines against cancer that are coming out. So I think that we're seeing a lot of really promising research out there. There's a lot of clinical trials, especially with melanoma. So if you do get a diagnosis of cancer, if you do get a diagnosis of melanoma, there's hope now. There's tons of opportunities and to get involved in clinical trials on the horizon, and I think that it's lots of wonderful research dollars are really paying off.
That's awesome. Well, Dr. Dunn, this has been great information. And like you said, the skin checks coming up on May 6th. Where can we go for more information?
Yeah, so our website, Advanced Dermatology and Cosmetic Surgery, so each pocket or each office has their own website, but if you literally Google Advanced Dermatology and Cosmetic Surgery, Melanoma Monday, skin checks, that's a mouthful, then you can actually find where your closest dermatology office is that's doing skin checks, and we'll take care of you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for being with us. Great information.
Thanks for having me, Bridgett. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. I appreciate you.
It happens. This is all new to us, so we appreciate you being here. Hope to see you again soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Take care. All right. So it is Friday, and on Fridays, we like to have our photojournalist Corey Murray check in with us and preview the next episode of his podcast that comes out on Sundays called Black Men Sundays, focused on helping build wealth and financial advice. And so he is standing by this morning. And good morning, Corey. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be better. It's Friday. It's my wife's birthday. So
happy
to my
birthday,
wife,
Miss
L'Oreal.
Murray. Yes.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's right. So we're talking about, on Black Men Sundays this Sunday, we're talking about building a brand, how to monetize off it. Entrepreneurs, when they start businesses, it's a challenging thing. I've known entrepreneurs where they quit their 9 to 5 and then they say, man, instead of working from 9 a.m. to noon, like I thought I was going to be able to do and live the glamour life, be a foodie all day. They're like, man, I'm working from 9 a.m. to midnight. So I spoke to Rushion McDonald. This brother here is an executive producer. He's most famously known for producing Steve Harvey. He's known for producing Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, Taraji P. Henson. And I asked him a question. He started his own company, but I said, how did you go from a big name like Steve Harvey to doing your own thing? Let's roll that soundbite.
When I started managing Steve Harvey in 2016, my whole approach was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I wondered about trying to figure that out, because when you manage somebody that big for 16 years, and I've known Steve longer than 16 years, by the way, it really gave me my first opportunity as a sitcom writer. Went on ABC's Me and the Boys, and even before that, I met Steve Harvey. He was my opening act as a stand-up comedian. So Steve and I go way back. And then that's a good thing. But when our relationship ended, me managing him, I did not have a voice. I did not have a brand. My brand was tied 100% to him. So I had to figure out, who is Rushion McDonald. So I chased producing TV shows. I chased managing talent. I chased everything. But in the end, people still associated me with Steve Harvey. So it took me a period of years before I was able to carve out my own voice. And that's what 3815 Media does. We are big, strong advocates of HBCUs. We do contracts with Fortune 500 companies from television. We do a lifestyle podcast for sickle cell that's hosted by Kier. We do a lot of things in this business from a standpoint. I'm one of the producers on the Stephen A. Smith podcast that's on YouTube. And then I brand consult Sherry Shepherd for a talk show. And so these are just some of the things I do that everybody's aware of. These are names that Oh, okay, I know those things. But in the end, I'm a community leader, man. I think the basic core of my company is about changing the outlook and perspective of people of color, especially African Americans.
That's right. Black Men Sundays this Sunday. This conversation runs deep. We have the health versus wealth conversation. He has an event in Houston, Texas. He's a University of Houston alumni. So he's having a Black Men Health Summit where, you'll be able to come out there and get a checkup, because in our conversation he says the black men are ticking time bombs. We're not going to the doctor. We're not getting our health right. So this conversation, I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little nervous talking to him at first, but he was so warm and cordial.
Yeah.
Then I started doing my thing. So yeah, happy Friday.
I think it's so interesting too, where he's, telling you about these places in his career where he's, had these dream gigs, but still you are open to rebranding, that it's always evolving, and the strategies behind that, because like you said, you get the courage up to get your own business going, but then you're working way more hours than you expected. And then sometimes things may or may not work out, or you might have to go back to the drawing board. And it's about flexibility, really, it seems.
Yes, definitely. And that's why we do Black Men Sundays, because I think people get the misconception about what an entrepreneur does. Even as
Mm-hmm.
a brother as successful as he was, he
Mm-hmm.
had to figure out how to rebrand himself
Mm-hmm.
after 16 years working with Steve Harvey. So, I put him to the test. The show drops this Sunday, midnight, Black Men Sundays. I even asked him a couple questions like, what can Black Men Sundays do to get to the next level?
Yeah.
He gave us some tips on that. He gave tips to new entrepreneurs. He also said, if you're working a 40-hour job and you're just working them 40 hours and you're not doing anything extra, don't think about being an entrepreneur. Don't think, because a lot of people I've spoken with, well, I quit my day job, I quit my job, I quit my job. No, do not do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to have this conversation. I mean, this brother here, this conversation runs deep. I mean, this brother, I've never seen a comic, I've never seen an executive producer, and this brother cooks. So, I
Oh,
had to get some
wow.
seasoning from him. I said, I'm going to need some of those seasonings
Oh,
for
boy.
baking and all that.
Well, Corey, can't wait for that. And we appreciate you coming in this morning to tell us about it. So that drops on Sunday, and we'll see you here a little bit later in the newsroom.
Well, I'm off today, but I just came
Oh,
on Breakfast with
all right.
Bridgett,
Yes.
but I'm
Well,
off today.
enjoy
I'm
the
off.
birthday
Yeah,
weekend with the wifey.
definitely.
All right. I'll see you soon. Take care. Okay, so this is going to do it for us on this Friday. Some great information there. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Stay cool. Use your sunscreen. We'll see you back here Monday at 7:30. Weatherwise with Jonathan Keggis is up next.